What is up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Yuri Choi, and I've been having so much fun getting back on YouTube in the last couple days, and this will continue. So, welcome back. Subscribe if you haven't already, because there's going to be so many other powerful value-adding stories and um, videos that are upcoming that I cannot wait to share with you. So today, though, I'm going to go into the 7 stories that you get to let go today so that you can finally feel more confident and actually empower yourself. So I think this is going to be a really good one. Um, by the way, I'm a performance coach, so I work with a lot of CEOs, entrepreneurs, high achieving professionals from all over. And I found that these are some of the stories that you can actually shift and let go of to feel powerful, to feel energetic, to feel motivated again, to feel good about who you are. So if I were you, take out a piece of paper, start taking some notes if you would like, totally up to you. I really think this is going to be powerful. So stay tuned. Let's go into number one. Number one, can you let go or change the story of the past that you didn't matter? Think about any times in your life where you felt like you didn't matter. Well, the truth is, we know that we matter, but there's moments in our lives where we go into the story that we didn't matter. I say story because this is literally just a story that we're telling ourselves. We create stories all the time. As human beings, we are story making machines. We are meaning making machines. And we actually have the opportunity to create stories that are very empowering, that gives us energy, that makes us feel good about ourselves. But oftentimes, more so out of habit than anything, we can go into these stories that we didn't matter. When was a time that you thought you didn't matter? When was a time that you told yourself the story that you didn't matter? Can you think of anything? It could be as simple as you not showing up to a group gathering and not informing anyone because you thought no one would notice. It could be something like you showing up late to things because you really don't think people would be paying attention. In those moments, maybe you thought you didn't matter. It doesn't seem like a big thing. And of course, there might be some bigger stories that you're creating in moments where you thought you didn't matter. Sounds like a little thing, but over time, it can really add up. It can really change the idea, the identity that you hold for you, and how you genuinely view you. Where was a time in the past that you told yourself you didn't matter? And in those moments, you can go back and say, well, how would I have acted? What would I have done differently if I truly knew that I did matter? Think about that. And if there's anything else that you would have done differently, that's the discrepancy. That's the difference that we get to lean into to really start to shift being this different kind of person. Number two, change the story that you are someone who should feel hurt and hold on to that hurt. Now, I'm not saying that your hurt didn't matter, but I'm going to tell you this. You feeling hurt in life is not unique. Everybody feels hurt at one point, unless you're a complete socio or psychopath. It's actually a good thing that you feel hurt once in a while because that means your system, your emotional system's working, it's healthy. However, if you continue to hold on to the story and dwell on the story that you are someone who should feel hurt because this one thing happened in your life, in our lives, and we hold on to that hurt, I wonder if that's the most empowered state for you. And I wonder what else could emerge if you tried on this identity where you let go of that hurt. I'm not saying that you don't have to do the healing work if you feel like that's something that you need. However, this is about an identity shift. And this is a lot of the things that I focus on with my clients, because it's not just about changing a few habits here and there. It's actually fundamentally changing the belief system, your behavior system, which are your habits, language system, which is something that reinforces your beliefs and habits, really shifting that. And when we shift all of that, your identity shifts. So if you can actually tap into the identity of the type of person who doesn't feel hurt anymore about what happened in the past, or who isn't committed to holding on to the hurt, I wonder what could open up for you. Number 3, change the story of the past that you were powerless. This is very similar to number 2. There's going to be times in our lives that we will not always feel powerful, and that's okay. But again, this is about what stories are you continually telling yourself? What stories are you continually revisiting? And if you can change that story for a moment so that your other identity, your newer identity, actually has the opportunity to surface at all, what could that look like? How would you change that story? Think about a moment that you felt truly powerless and what you would have done differently if you were truly powerful. And then imagine if you had actually lived your past weeks, months, years, or whatever in that state. Who could be available? Who could show up in this moment from you that isn't available for you right now because you're holding on to that story that you're powerless? Number 4, change the story of the past that you are the victim. Again, this goes along with, feeling hurt, feeling powerless. Everybody is going to have a moment in their lives, or many moments in their lives, where they have an opportunity to feel like a victim. Now, the difference between people who continue to live a powerful, empowered life, or somebody who decides not to, is simply how long you stay in that victim mindset. It's okay if you feel victimized once in a while. Maybe there was a lesson for you. Maybe you were supposed to learn how to draw boundaries. Maybe you were supposed to raise your standards. There's a lesson for you in there. But once you got that lesson, it's also your responsibility to consciously let go of that. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this. This is called the refractory period. How long we decide to feel hurt. How long we decide to, stay in this fear-based state when it's not necessary. Because essentially, living in a victim mindset is living in a fear mindset. And that cannot be empowering for many reasons. One is because if you're in a fear-based mindset, if you're living in a victim mentality and you're in fear-based mindset, here's the thing. Fear mechanism was created because that allows us to refocus all of our resources, all of our energy into one thing, typically running away from something that's causing that fear, typically something that's dangerous. And it was actually supposed to be a mechanism that works for us so that we're running away from tigers, physically, potentially harmful. This is actually fear mechanism doing what it's supposed to do. But what does it do nowadays? It helps us run away from things that we shouldn't be scared of anymore, like life, like connection, like feeling connected, like actually loving ourselves. These things are not things we should be scared of. They're not going to kill us. So what I'm saying is when you're in that fear-based mindset, you're in survival zone. When you're in survival zone, you can only think one thing at a time. Listen, if you're running away from a tiger, you're not going to be thinking about, what kind of art do I want to create? What do I want to do with my life? What are my big goals and visions? You're not thinking like that. You're just thinking about running away from that tiger. What that truly means, the true cost of you staying in the victim mentality is actually that you're missing out on infinite other possibilities that you can't even think of because you're so focused on that one thing. Because in that moment, your body thinks you're running away from a tiger and you can only think about one thing. This is why oftentimes when people are stuck in victim mentality, it's hard for them to create a new vision. It's hard for them to, be creative about a lot of things. They're in a loop of some sort. Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me, right? So if you can shift out of that, what actually opens up for you is a completely creative mindset, infinite possibilities. And that's what really offers you the fun and the juiciness of life that you're missing out on by sticking to that. Number 5, can you change a story of the past that people were out to get you? And instead try on this mantra. What if the universe is conspiring for me? What if the universe wants me to win, to be happy, to be successful? What if the universe is truly conspiring for my success? The universe meaning people too. How would that support you? Think about the last thing that happened. You felt like people were trying to get you, like people were trying to hurt you, people were trying to make your life more miserable. I can probably tell you they probably weren't, even if it seems like they were on the surface level, because a lot of times people are always just doing the best that they can in that moment with the given resources, with the given experiences, with the given, life experiences or whatever. In that particular moment, people think whatever they're doing is the best thing that they can do, which is why they're doing it. After, analyzing all of their infinite options in that moment with their given limited or unlimited, mindset, that's what they decided to do. People are not typically trying to get you, you know. And if we can actually let go of that story, what opens up is the possibility of not feeling offended often. And we're not feeling offended or hurt often, what happens is we're able to create more flow in our life. We're able to create more abundance in our lives. What would it feel like for you to finally let go, change the story of the past that people were out to get you? I invite you to journal about that. Think about that. Reflect on that. Number 6, change the story of the past that you were not enough. I mean, I've worked with so many high achievers. This is the number one thing, one of the top things that comes up, that they don't feel like they're enough. And a lot of times, that's what sometimes driving their performance so that they are a high performer. And they also get into this kind of weird place where they're like, well, what if I do think I'm enough and I actually lose my motivation? Like they get into this weird loop of fear that, stops them from even considering the fact that they can actually let go of the story that they're not enough. But here's the thing, when we operate from this mindset of I'm not enough, whether subconsciously or consciously, I can guarantee that you're not utilizing your full potential. There's going to be ways that you're chipping away at yourself. There's going to be corners where you're like dimming down rather than really choosing to stay bright and loud. What if you were enough? What if you were enough? Think about the last time that you felt hurt, victimized, felt insecure, and try on that idea. In that moment, what if you did genuinely feel enough? I guarantee you would have done something differently. And when we're able to create these new possibilities in our mind and then behave differently, this is when we are able to start to choose into creating a different possibility and a different reality. Number 7, change the story that you don't have enough. This could be money, this could be things, this could be friends, this could be love, this could be a lot of things. But can you change a story that you don't have enough? This is the fundamental story around scarcity mindset, which also is a fear-based mindset. When we operate from this place that you don't have enough, one, we're not going to have an opportunity to be truly stay grateful for everything that is currently in our reality. And when we can't access that gratitude, I can tell you, you are not living to your fullest. You are not going to get the juiciness that every moment actually offers. When you're operating from this place of, you don't have enough, you're going to go into a mode of wanting to take things from other people. So you become a taker rather than a giver. When you operate from this place of you don't have enough, you're going to be prone to hurt people along the way because you're not you're not able to think outside of yourself because you're thinking about you. In contrast, imagine that you felt genuinely enough. If you felt like you were enough, if you felt like you have a cup that's overflowing, you're not going to be thinking that you have to take more from other people so that you can finally just feel okay because you are already overflowing. You're not going to get into unhealthy competition because you're going to feel like there can be two winners. You're not going to, behave from this place of feeling desperate or feeling frugal because you know that you have enough, that your cup is overflowing. And these stories all go together hand in hand because if you don't have enough and you think the universe is against you, you're going to feel like a victim and you're going to feel powerless, right? But if you feel genuinely like you have enough, or practice that feeling, practice that mindset that you are enough, you have enough, that people are actually supporting you, they want you to win. Um, you were never a victim. You were actually being supported by the universe at all times. You are powerful, that you are not someone who is, feeling hurt. You're actually healed, and that you are somebody who does matter. So I just reverse all the things we just talked about. There's going to be a whole new frequency that is going to emerge from your being, the core of your being. This is when your energy shifts. This is when your aura shifts. This is when people are like, what the heck is that person doing? Because there's just some light about that person and I can't really pinpoint, but it's really powerful. So I invite you to think about all these moments where you felt like you weren't enough, or that you didn't have enough, or that people were out to get you, or you were the victim, or that you're powerless, or that you should feel hurt and hold on to that hurt, or that you didn't matter. And really empower yourself by going into the stories of the opposite and really choosing consciously to let go of any micro to macro moments where you can identify where you were dimming your own light, giving away your power by leaning into these stories that don't serve you. And now is a time that you can actually practice changing these stories. This is something that I help my clients with, because it's one thing to like hear this. Yeah, it's empowering for this, moment being, but it's a whole nother thing to actually practice this so that it becomes you. It becomes a part of you. Some of my clients have had massive results. I've had a client who went from like $1 million in debt to 8-figure business. I've had a client who quit her job at a public school and now she's building her dream, business that used to be a side hustle, doing what she loves. I have another client who went from 2.5 million subscribers to 12 million subscribers on YouTube. Some of these clients, they did actually work with me for, up to like 3-4 years, but they all say it was worth it because it fundamentally changed their core belief system. And then they got to practice into that. Now, some of these clients, I can tell you, most of them actually were able to re-ingrain their new programming, new belief system within the first 3 to 6 months. But some of them had continued to expand their goals and set new goals. And in that journey, we were able to practice even more and even more these new belief systems. So I'm not saying that it's gonna have to take a few years, but it will take some repetition. It will take some time so that this actually gets ingrained into your body, into your mind, to know that this is your new identity, essentially. So identity transformation is what I help my clients do, because it's not just about changing a few things, but it's really stepping into that new avatar of yourself, new version of yourself. By the way, I talked about this in my last video. I have a group coaching program coming up in June 2024. I don't know when you're going to be watching this. It's called Rebirth. It's an activation into an abundant reality. And I'm so excited for this. So if you are high achieving professionals or you're an entrepreneur and you've been feeling like you're stuck with some of these stories, especially the ones I mentioned today out of these 7 stories, let's chat. Shoot me a message on Instagram. My Instagram is Yuri1C. I'll go ahead and put all this information at the bottom, or you can comment below and we can chat, and we can find a time to talk, because I am on a mission to help people really access what's already available, which is this abundant reality. And this has changed my life completely. You know, today I live in Bali. I live in this beautiful home. I have a cute little dog. I have amazing friends. I have a business that I love. I have clients that I adore. Love the transformations that they get to, create for themselves. I love and just feel so honored to be a part of this co-creating process with my clients. I'm healthy. I do yoga every day. I'm working out every day. My mind is clear. I feel freaking great. And I can tell you, this is from doing this type of work. And I've been doing this type of work for the last 7 years. So what I can offer is condensing all of that knowledge in a very powerful, potent, and shorter container, not 7 years, but maybe 3, 4 months, where you can really start to experience this powerful shift, and that's available for you. So if this feels fun for you, if this is something that you feel pulled to, feel free to let me know. Other than that, also comment below if you would like what landed for you. Or start to journal about this and feel free to share. I want this space to be a place that you guys can all start to share more vulnerably. This is a community that we're building. So anyways, again, my name is Yuri Choi. I'm a performance coach and an author. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe, especially if you're still here and you liked what you heard today, because there's a lot more content coming. There's also other videos on my YouTube channel that I think you could benefit from. Or if you have any topics that you'd like for me to tap into, feel free to let me know. Other than that, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, evening, wherever you are. Sending you so much love. Just remember, changing these stories about who you are is totally possible, and I totally believe in you. So excited to see what emerges from these shifts. So feel free to share. Have a beautiful day, guys.